tags as trans and gender-nonconforming swimming group. So we started in 2014 to provide safe swimming spaces for the trans community. Basically, we knew there were small groups. There's a group in Brighton, there's a group in Manchester. Me and a friend of mine thought we need something in London, you know. And it's very difficult for trans people to access any leisure facilities, you know. Swimming. So we approached the Ocean Council and a bit of to and fro, and they offered to give us a session in the Ocean, and it's grown from there. So now we've had sessions in Birmingham, and we run sessions in Swiss Cottage, and Evolution session runs every week. We're starting in Tower Hamlets, and we've had one session in Hackney. But it's growing all the time, you know. So it's so we have done other stuff. We did some yoga, trying to get access to some mountain climbing, indoor mountain climbing, because that is very difficult for trans people to do. In terms of other trans people and non-binary people that I've met, I've said they've gone to sessions and been misgendered, you know, but it wasn't just once, it was consistently. So that's what we're all about, really, providing safe spaces for the trans and gender-nonconforming community. So we all. So basically, when we go to a space, we make sure, the thing about, you've got to remember, as trans people, you know, many of them will have body dysmorphia and they're going through a change. Not all trans people are going through a physical change, but the thing is, they need to feel safe because of how society has seen trans people and how society still sees trans people. So basically, we go and see that the space is appropriate. So what I mean by appropriate is, for example, we don't allow public viewing. So if we go into a space, most bats have big open windows where people can see in, which is fair enough. For us, we need something different. So basically, there is a lot of training pools in London, and even small spaces that has cubicle changing rooms within that space. And mostly we use the newer training pools, like the one in Swiss Cottage and the one in Luton, which has electric shutters. Mm-hmm. So when we see that the space is appropriate, then we start approaching GLL, Fusion, Everyone Active, you know, these organisations that run sessions. Things don't get done. It's really difficult. You know, so for I give you an example, we have one of the pools, the shutters aren't working properly, so the staff are having to go and put like floats, you know, up in front of the windows. It's ridiculous. So the pool get back to us. So this is happening in 2 pools. One get back to me and say, "Oh well, we have to wait for the contractor to do the whole thing because contractor won't do it." So this is the type of. And you get bureaucracy everywhere. We all know the levels of bureaucracy in any organisations, but at the same time, you see, it's not taken seriously. It's not taken seriously that the fact that someone can look in through that window and see somebody who's got body dysmorphia, and that puts trans people off. I mean, at the start, I think, depending on the area you're in, I mean, when we started in Lewisham, we had to go through an awful lot of stuff where local youths were just trying to hassle them, you know. That stopped really quickly because the police got involved before it stopped doing that. And now it's turned the other way, you know. So the staff, I mean, the staff were always being fine. They were just a little bit scared because if they haven't been taught about trans issues, you know, we can't expect people to know things, you know what I mean? And if you do get it wrong, most people are like, "Oh God, you know, what's the proper thing to say?" So that's, I mean, that's the thing that we're on doing. So, like, the government want every charity now to run at a profit. Do you know what I mean? So, like, they have to. So we have to go to spaces with cap in hand and say, you know, we need a discount, or you know, we need to have a premium rate because the majority of our swimmers, you know, many of them are working, but many of them are not because they're still experiencing a lot of discrimination. So, I mean, that's where it can be really tough, you know what I mean? and getting to the space. I mean, like, you imagine if you're, you know, getting hassled all the time. You know, to get to a swimming space is probably the last thing you want to do. You know, but when they do get there, the sense of freedom they feel, you know, it's like say, hey. Example. You see what the thing is there, the local authorities say to a charity, here you are, run our pool for us, we'll give you this amount of money. And then don't really get involved. Because the councils want to save themselves big amount of money. But in the meantime, you have to go around in a big circle, you know. And I mean, I know I've approached this, like, if I approach Lambert Council now and ask to speak to the person who coordinates sport and equalities in the borough, and I inform them about a tag session, I guarantee you that unless somebody else from outside was to come back and say, you need to support tags, they will not. Because I know from experience, I have to keep, I give it, like, for example, in Swiss Cottage, I had to go to the mayor of Camden and ask him to give us a discount at the start. You know? Because it's the tendency, oh, well, they're only a little small, just leave, you know, we can ignore them. You know, but yeah, but at the same time, if you want this to change, then you're going to have to do stuff. You know, I mean, it's common sense, they know what they have to do. So local authorities, for example, if they were to say, right, we're going to do some trans-inclusive sessions in sport, not just swimming, but in order to do this, they have to put the bloody money up front. Do you know what I mean? And maybe employ a project worker who's trans, or, you know, because it's, they know themselves what they have to do. So in some ways, I know in some ways they don't, because they don't know. A lot of people are not clued up to the whole trans thing, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't know what to say to a trans person. A lot of people have never actually met somebody who's trans. If they want to get past the rhetoric and all this, these are, oh yeah, we want to do this, this and this, well, it needs, you know, action. It needs, you know, I mean, like, say for example in Lambert, they could have a trans session, or they could do something, you know, to support trans groups in the, you know, because it is, I mean, I know Brixton well, you know, I've got friends in Brixton, and I've often, you know, experienced transphobic abuse and homophobic abuse in Brixton because of the way I look, you know. So it's, I mean, I'm not saying, but the point is, you know, it needs to kind of, if people see trans people normalised in places like swimming pools, sports centres, then the barriers break down and people realise they're just like anybody else, we just have different bodies, you know. It's just, so that's how I feel that things could move on, you know.